Shadows of Brimstone, City of the Ancients by Flying Frog Productions is an Old West horror board game for 1 to 4 players, ages 12 and up. Hey, I'm 1 player, and I'm age 12, and I'm up, so let's play it. Shadows of Brimstone comes with 1 or 2 decks of cards, and it doesn't even give you enough cards to cover all the items and things you can find in the game. You end up having to make your own. All this means is that over the course of a campaign, a character might end up with like a dozen or more of these cards. I find it a bit overwhelming. I've tried before playing a campaign with 2 characters and it was just too much for me. So this time I'm going in with a single hero. The base game comes with 4 heroes and you get to pick from one of 3 special abilities for each hero. So what I'm going to do is shuffle all these hero ability cards together and draw one out. Right, here we go. I'm going to cut and we'll take whatever this card is. We are going to be a US Marshal with the Cleaning Up the West ability. Alright, so here we go. We've got the miniature. We've got 2 revive tokens, a shotgun, martial badge, the old lantern, a side bag, we have some bandages, and we get 1 personal item. So I've shuffled this deck, let's see what we get. A weathered poncho, plus 4 health. Won't say no to that. And we need a name. I'm reckoning we're going to have Liver Eating Johnson. John Liver Eating Johnson. So, as you can see, I've already got quite a bit to keep track of. We've got the shotgun, which has its special ability with critical hits there. We've got this double shot ability here, which gives me an extra shot if I kill an enemy with a shotgun. We've got the Cleaning Up the West ability. If I kill an enemy, I get +1 wound, +1 sanity, and 10 experience points. We've got the Martial Badge. Once per adventure, give all heroes +2 shots with a gun. Or +2 combat, that's melee. And as John Liver Eating Johnson gets more experience, he will level up and get more abilities. And of course we'll find more items as we go along as well. It'll be great, let's go for it. I'll be starting with the introductory mission, a Fistful of Darkstone, where all we have to do is go into the mine and find some Darkstone. And after that, what I'd like to try is going through the missions in the Order of the Crimson Hand mission pack. I've had this box for a couple of years now. I never actually got around to playing it. So here we are at the mine entrance, and I almost forgot, we also start with 1 grit. Grit powers some special abilities, but can also be used for some dice re-rolls. Look at all the counters you get with this game. It's crazy. If you like counters, good game to get. Both a blessing and a curse, because I'm trying to find the counter to track the darkness. I've got the one for exploration. There should be a green ring in here somewhere. Half of these counters aren't even used in any of the missions. Can't seem to find that counter I'm looking for, so we will use this strange purple cat to keep track of the darkness. Okay, on with the adventure. This adventure is called A Fistful of Darkstone. The idea is to explore this mine, tile by tile. We have this map deck which will tell us what tile to put down. When we find a room or a chamber, it will have one of these exploration tokens on it. And what we want to find are these red exclamation marks. The first one will indicate we found a clue, and then the second one will be where the Darkstone cache is. At the beginning of each round, we use the old lantern to try and keep back the darkness. We roll 2 dice and we need to score a 7 or better at the moment, but the deeper we go, the harder it gets. So we have kept back the darkness. Right, what does a hero do on its turn? You move, and then you either attack or search. Movement is a roll of a d6. 5. These squares are nice and big, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So to search the next area, I actually need to be on that half square, so we didn't quite make it. However, we can scavenge the room. So we roll 3 dice and we want 6s. Nothing. There's a counter for everything, so we'll put down a scavenge token to show we have searched this area. on to the next round. At the start of the next round, again, we roll to keep back the darkness. I will spare you from every single dice roll in future, but let's see what we get this round. I failed to keep back the darkness, and in fact I rolled a double 1. That is a thing. Yeah, so the good news is I don't need to advance the darkness. The bad news is that a double 1 means an ambush attack. Alright, let's see what it is. As a single hero, we use the low threat cards. We've got some Crimson Hand. Right, we get to roll the fancy dice. 3 + 1 is 4 of these guys. All I know about these guys is that they are cultists. I haven't played their mission pack yet, so I don't know anything about them. Right, here we go. In an ambush, apparently, they appear adjacent to the hero. So, am I dead already, do you think? Will I survive this? Alright, here we are. Order the Crimson Hand. This is brutal. And I don't even mean brutal. It's just a standard level of brutal. So because they've got ranged weapons, they can assault, which means they make a free ranged attack before they make their melee attacks. If they hit, it deals 5 damage, and I've only got, 14 health. They're also carrying an artifact, which increases their health. Of course, if I do manage to kill them, I get the artifact. Let's see what we get. They are carrying a ornate mask worth $450, which means they get an extra 4 health each. They will also be attacking first. It's an ambush, so their initiative goes up to 5 compared to my 4. So here we go. They're all going to shoot at me with their rifles. They hit on a 4 or better. 2 hits. I do get a defense roll. 3 or better. So, they may have shot me, but it didn't hurt me. We've got some punching and kicking coming next. Their combat is 2, so each of them rolls 2 dice. Hitting on a 5 or better. Alright, so John Johnson has taken 3 punches. Again, we get to roll to block. And we block them all. I thought liver-eating Johnson was a goner there, but he survived without a scratch. Okay, John, let's use that shotgun, and I think we're going to cash in the Marshal badge already. So this will give us +2 shots. So we'll have 3 shots with a shotgun. There is no penalty for using a ranged weapon with an adjacent enemy. And we don't use D6s, we are going to use D8s. We need a 4 better to hit. Here we go. 2 hits. The 7s are critical hits. What does a critical hit do for a hero? It means that the enemy does not get their defense. What does defense do? Normally that would be a damage reduction. Next we assign the hits. Now annoyingly, these Crimson Hand cultists have endurance. An enemy can't take more than 3 wounds in any single hit. So we do roll d8s for damage as well, but there's no point in assigning them both to a single enemy, so we'll hit this fellow and this fellow. Alright, some damage for you. So that caps at 3, and some damage for you. Again, 3 damage. Ugh, that means it's going to take at least 3 hits to kill each of these, and I get 1 shot per turn. This sucks. Right, next round, I kept back the darkness. The fanatics are going to shoot at me as part of their assault. Looks like we have 2 hits. And again, John Johnson manages to block those. Punches and kicks. Just the 1 to try and block, which I do. Again, no damage. Let's try the shotgun. Just a single blast this time, which does hit. And we'll make it this fellow. So I deal 5 damage minus the defense of 2, which is 3. That's the cap anyway. 1 hit point left for this guy. I'm still managing to hold back the darkness. I did find the green ring though, but I like the cat as well. We'll keep both. Okay, give me those rifle shots, you nasty cultists. We have 3 hits this time. Uh-oh. Let's try and block. I blocked them all. Good job, marshals are tough. Punches and kicks. One hit. Not blocked this time. What does that mean? We take 3 damage. We've got these wound counters. I think John Johnson's going to switch to melee, actually. That'll give me 2 dice. A melee hit deals d6 damage, so I've got a chance to kill 1 fellow. Okay, melee is 4+, so we do get 2 hits. And is that 6 a critical? Yeah, 6 is a critical, so I'm going to assign the critical hit to the cultist with 1 hit point left, because I want to make sure he dies. So he dies. And then we'll punch this guy. So 3 minus the defense of 2 is 3 damage. And hey, we're cleaning up the west, so we get rid of 1 of these wounds and 10 XP. The grueling fight continues. So 3 cultists left. They make their assault. Ranged attacks with their rifles. Oh no, 3 hits. Let's see if I can shrug off the wounds. I do. Okay, punches and kicks next. And they all miss. Phew! Alright, do we want to do melee or fire the shotgun? Okay, we'll do melee because I only need to do 1 hit point of damage on this cultist. Oh no, I miss. I think, yes, let's use up the grit. Let's use up the grit, which means I can re-roll both dice. 1 hit, which is a critical. No defense damage reduction for you, buddy, so no matter what, you're dead. We are continuing to clean up the west, so another 10 XP, and we get rid of 1 of these wounds. And I've been forgetting something. Even if your hero does not move, still roll a d6 movement, because if you roll a 1, you get a grit. So I think we've had 3 combat rounds. So I get 2 grit. My maximum grit is 2, but that is just fine and dandy. Next round, I am still continuing to keep back the darkness, so this is actually going pretty well. Alright, let's take those rifle shots. 1 hit. Can I block it? I do. This is great. Alright, we've got their punches and kicks next. And we've got 3 hits. Come on, Johnny. We block 2. We take 1 hit, so that is 3 damage. Alright, I want to use the shotgun this time. It's a hit, not a critical, but it's still a hit. And we deal d8 damage. 5 minus the 2 defense is 3 damage, which is the cap anyway, no problem. There we go. Okay, cultists, give me your best. 1 hit, which I block. Haha, you can punch and kick me now if you want. 2 hits, which I block. Wow, liver eating Johnson is just really tough. This is great. Alright, do we want to punch and kick them back or use the shotgun? I think we'll punch and kick this time. So we'll score 1 critical hit, which of course we'll do on the already wounded enemy. Damage is a d6, only 2 damage this time. Okay, that is fine. Next round, still very lucky with the lantern rolls. The cultists make their assault, missing. And punches and kicks. We do have 2 hits. Dodge! You only dodged 1, so that's 3 damage. Yikes. Alright, liver eating Johnson. I think it's time for you to use these bandages, which gives us d6 wounds restored. Oh, that's fantastic. 6 wounds restored. Alright, I'm going to use the shotgun this time on the wounded cultist. Chick, boom. It is a hit. How much damage? Oh no, nothing. Defense of 2. Let's use a grit. Yes, let's use a grit. Reroll that. That's Much better, so that's going to be a kill. Cleaning up the west, so we get another 10 XP, and we can get rid of that last wound. We're just peachy now, but what else? We killed an enemy with a shotgun, so we're getting extra shot with a shotgun. Yes, so we will shoot at this last cultist. But I miss. Let's use a grit. Yes. We hit. Not a critical, I don't think. Oh, a 6 is a critical. So we ignore the enemy's defense and deal 3 damage. Okay, the last remaining cultist will assault me, firing his rifle and hitting, but I dodge. And then he can punch and kick me all he likes. I don't mind. He misses. Let's blast him with the shotgun. What's that? That's a miss. And I've run out of grit. There's nothing I can do about that. Well. We have our first holding back the darkness failure. So our little purple cat and the green circle go up to number 1. No immediate effect. Okay, the cultist has fired at me and I've got a hit on me and my first failed block roll. So that is 5 damage. No punches landed on me, so our US Marshal will fight back. We're going to use melee this time. Scoring 2 hits. What's the damage? So we subtract 2 from each of these. So that's nothing. Again, yikes. Meanwhile, the darkness has increased again. What does the blood splatter means? It means we draw a darkness card. Alright, here we go. It better not be an ambush. What's this? Encroaching Shadows. We've got to move fast. The heroes are now at -1 to the hold back the darkness roll. But we get a +2 to movement. Okay, back to the cultist. He better not be the end of me. So he makes his assault and hits. Can I block? Yes. Alright. Punches and kicks. 1 lands. Can I block? Yes. Right. You're going to get it now. Let's shotgun you this time. A hit. Not a critical, but we do get 8 damage. -2 is 6. Capped at 3 because of the cultist's endurance. Okay, another turn has passed. The cultist failed to hurt me, and I failed to punch back. So, a bit of a stalemate still. Let's go to the next round. Darkness goes up by 1. Another stalemate. No one's hurting each other right now. On to the next round. 8, we're fine for darkness. Cultist failed to hit me again. Come on, land some blows, please, will you, John Liver-Eating Johnson. Here we go. This is going to be a kill. This is going to be a kill. Okay. We have missed. Okay, on to the next round. The cultist does shoot me. Can I block? Yes. He punches me. No, he doesn't. Okay, come on, this time. Johnny, come on. All you need to do is land 1 blow. That's all you need. Just punch him in the face. Punch him in the face. That's all you need to do. 2 punches, and 1 is a critical. That's probably a bit more than what I asked for, but I'm going to do a minimum of 1 damage, so that takes the cultist out. And finally, that grueling fight is over. Yeah, I'm cleaning up the west, so we get a wound back. 10 XP, and also we're going to get 120 XP for killing that group of cultists. There we go, look at all that lovely XP. Delicious. Do I get the ornate mask though? It says here I only get it on a roll of a 5 or better. Ooh, come on. Yes, I've got an ornate mask. What does it do? -2 sanity, +2 health. Anytime you would take a corruption point, ignore it on the d6 roll of a 4+. That's fine, I'll put it on. Alright, we get to catch our breath, so we get D3 wounds back. That's 2. Very good. That was interesting. I felt for sure I was an absolute goner. I thought I would die in the first round. But I've come out on top, and in fact I could leave the mine now and call it a success. I've got this cool ornate mask, a bunch of XP, but we're going to press on deeper into the mine. Okay, onwards. Let's see what's through this archway. Oh, and I get a grit as well. That's amazing. What have we got? We have got... oh, a bend. There's no encounters in these little passages, so we just keep moving. I did not keep back the darkness this time, so what horrible thing is going to happen? We have got whispering voices. He knows you are here, come join us. Each hero takes d6 horror hits, and the random hero, I guess that's John Johnson, must pass a spirit 4+ test or immediately roll once on the madness table. Alright, how horrid are these whispers? 1 horrid, that's not too bad. So what is a horror hit? It's like a regular hit, but I roll against my willpower rather than defense. So what is this? I pass. I am not perturbed by the whispering, but I also need to pass a spirit test as well. What is my spirit? 2. That's not very good. Alright, what this means is I roll 2 dice, and I need at least one of them to be a 4 or better. Here we go. We passed. Okay. So no madness. That's good, right? With the bonus movement from Encroaching Shadows, we can make it to this archway. We have a forked path, which does give us an exploration token. This tells us there is 1 exit and an encounter. I've already rolled for the exit, and it's that away, which means we put a dead end here. And somewhere amongst this lot there is some mine encounters. Is it here? Yes. Alright, what do we have? Watcher in the Dark. This is actually from the Crimson Hand pack, but that's fine. There's something not right here. The dark shadows on the far end of the room seem to be moving and twisting. What madness is this? Right, I need to make a law check. Now, unfortunately, the US Marshal has the poorest law skill in the game, and I need to get a 5 or better. Here we go. I fail. What happens? D3 tentacles. We add it to a fight for each hero that failed the test. Well, there's only 1 of me, that's fine. These tentacles have double the base health. Yikes. 1 tentacle, which we put at the back. So normally in an encounter, when you place down enemies, they form like a check pattern starting at the back and going forwards. So we put you there. Whoa, just a minute, I forgot something earlier. After the cultist fight, I should have drawn a loot card. Let's do that now. Ooh, some Darkstone. That's great. Do I get 20 XP as well? The rulebook does not seem clear on the matter, so I'll take it. I'll have 1 piece of Darkstone and 20 XP. Anyway, back to the tentacles. What have we got? Initiative 2, so I will be acting first. Smash, so if they roll a 6 to hit me, they ignore my defense. What are they hitting me on? They roll 3 dice. Hitting on a 4 or better. It's only 1 tentacle, I should be fine. Happily, I rolled a 1 for movement, so that is a grit. 1. I see no reason not to use the shotgun here. And I miss. Let's use that grit I just gained. Yes. We'll get rid of that and fire again. That's better. Alright, I want to see some big damage. 1. Right, just a glancing blow, so the tentacles connect now. They move 6 squares. This includes diagonals. That's enough for it to wibble wobble right up to John Johnson. 3 dice in combat. We don't want any 6s, thank you very much. Oh no. So we took 1 smash, which ignores our defense, so that's 3 damage, and we can roll to try and defend against the other strike, which I do. The darkness continues to rise from the depths of the mine. Right, let's blast this thing with buckshot. It's a critical hit, very good. 7 damage. So 8 damage total, and even though this thing has double health, that is enough to take it out. Right, so we get 30 XP, plus another 10 for cleaning up the west. And we can take one of these wounds off. Oh, I also catch my breath, so that is another wound restored. No loot. You get 1 loot card for each threat card that was part of the fight, but the tentacle came on from an encounter, not a threat card. Okay, we'll make that the end of part 1. John Liver-Eating Johnson will continue through the archway. In part 2, we'll see what is deeper in the mine.